tech guy. And if the video looks a little bit different, it could be that my hair needs combed or that I'm using my phone. So that's what it comes out to. I'm using my phone to do the live on this because I want to be able to turn around and show you the softbox that I made for my Godox ES45 key light. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and let's jump into this. Let's get some of this stuff moved around. Using some upgrades, and one of those things was the Godox ES45, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. I really didn't think this through, but let's just drive on. Anyway, the other thing I'm using is my DJI wireless mic that I usually use with Ecamm Live. Brings out some pretty good audio. And I'm plugged it into my cell phone. So this is also a test of that to see how well the wireless works. So hopefully it'll get a good picture, and hopefully it gets good audio with the DJI wireless plugged into my iPhone 13 Pro Max. So with that being said, yeah, there's the key light that I have, and I want to show you that right there, and there is the light. Hey, we got George on. Yeah. So this is a pretty good light. And some of the cool things about this is it's got a remote. If we can pull this off. So it has a remote, and the light is set at 1%. The mic is a little hot. Okay. Let me see if we can change some stuff like that. The mic is a little hot. Maybe, and I'm not sure how I can change this. That's not going to work. How's this? Is this okay? Maybe I could just set it here, and that will work as the microphone. So if it's too hot, okay, that's good to know. Appreciate that. And then what we'll end up doing, yeah, we'll just put that over there, and hopefully that'll be good enough. I'm trying to watch the audio display on the remote that's plugged into the phone, the receiver. And George says that's better. Okay, so I need to do a little bit of adjustment with that. So this will work for now. But with the key light that I ended up having, it's an LED key light, and it goes from 1% to 100%. So obviously that is going to be quite the light. And the cool thing is there's an app. But the other cool thing is that this is a remote. So I can change the color of the light, and then I can also change the brightness. So we're about 3100 Kelvin right now, which seems pretty good. And then we'll go up to, that's 10%, and we're starting to get washed out a little bit. Let's go ahead and we'll go to 20%. Man, I'm really getting burned out. That is 30%. That's 40%. Let's see, we get, that's 50%. That's 60. I mean, that is gonna, the white is, we're blowing it all out. So let's just go up to, that's 70. We'll go up to 80. Good Lord. And then we have 90. Talk about bright. That is 100% white light. So yeah, that for this to work, I got to go down to, yeah, bright as the sun. I got to go down to 1% for this to be still, depending on the camera that I use, it seems like it's a little bit too much light even for the phone here. With the Ecamm Live and the software that I have on my Mac, I can adjust the brightness and do that. But as far as like live streaming with the phone here, it does seem like it's a little bit hot. So what I ended up doing is getting this ES45. And so let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that and kind of show you what I ended up getting. So that is the Godox ES45, $140. Got the little stand there and everything, and it comes with one light, LED, ultra quiet. Again, you've got the remote that can come off of that. They also have an app, but man, it is really good. So this came out to be a really, really nice light, and it's a little bit of money there, but it's super bright. So yeah, and I could have went with the Godox ES30, but yeah, I went with the 45 because yeah, I might as well. So with that, since this is a little bit too bright, what I decided to do was to make a, let's get that back up there, was to make a softbox. And the reason I wanted to make a softbox is I couldn't find a softbox for the ES45 from Godox. So what I ended up doing was going on to Tinkercad, and what I made was a softbox. So what we can end up doing is we can take a look at this. Again, I apologize for using the phone, but I wanted to show you how this ended up working out. So there is the softbox that I made in Tinkercad. And so basically this is all going to be painted in, or printed in black PLA, which comes out pretty good. It'll cover the face of it. And if we go down here, what I ended up doing is making some attachments. Hey, we got an Inventive. Good day. Yes, glad to see you aboard. So we got these little connectors here that I could use rubber bands to attach this. You know, I thought about doing clips and everything, but it ended up, yeah, that was a little bit too involved and too advanced for me. So kind of did rubber bands. For those of you who are wondering, like on the divider here, that ends up being, if I'm not mistaken, 2 millimeters. And if I could go back, I would change that to like 1.5 or maybe even 1 millimeter, because that's a pretty hefty amount. And it doesn't need to be super solid. We just need to be able to get that, and I don't know, maybe 2 millimeters on the diameter or on the outside of this. And then the inside could probably be 1 millimeter, so we could save a little bit of material, because yeah, it's going to end up being a beast. So I exported that and put it into Creality Print, and what we ended up doing after that was cranking this baby out, and I had to split it in half. So you can see the split there, and this is, how am I going to do this? So this is the softbox. And you can see we got the connectors there and everything for the rubber bands. That came out pretty nice. So the whole idea is to, oh, I still got some tiny, tiny supports that I didn't get out of there. Those are gone, those are gone. And so that way we could do a little rubber band action. Anybody remember the song, The Rubber Band Man from 1970, was it 1977? Most people don't remember that song. Some of the older people will. But the younger people might know it because of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So the Rubber Band Man, that's what came into play here. So this softbox, what this will end up doing is breaking up the light so that it's not so much. Because we're, like I said, we're down to 1% on our key light. And so I wanted something that have a little bit more control, have a little bit more flexibility. So when I'm streaming on the phone versus, you know, doing the eCam stuff. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to try this out and see if it works. Rubber Band Man. I barely saw that comment, so I'm not sure. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to move some stuff around here. Put my other light on there, my fill light. And I'll show you how this will connect up, and you'll see how much of a reduction of light there is. So remember, we're at 1% on this. And I think what we're going to end up doing is, let's go ahead and we'll do this. And no, I don't want to do that, but that's what that looks like. And that's what that's going to do. So you can see that this is automatically, I mean, there's a huge difference in the amount of light. It's a big reduction. So a softbox is a pretty good thing to have, and it gives you some more flexibility. Like I said, this thing just ended up being a little bit too beefy at 2 millimeters. So I think I would do 2 millimeters, maybe 1.5, 1, something like that, and I think that would work out fine. So what are we going to end up doing? How are we going to do this? I guess we could do this. I'll set this up like this. I'll go ahead and put the main light on. And I've got a couple of rubber bands, so what we'll end up doing, and again, you can see kind of what we end up having there with the rubber band. I'll put one there. And usually these are made out of cloth, but let's see if will this be enough? And will the rubber band, will it be enough to hold this in place? Ah, perfection! Look at that! That came out great. So yeah, little rubber band things. I have a couple on the side here because I didn't know how many rubber bands we were going to need. But man, that came out good. Now I could have made the side and the corner. George says it looks good, thank you. I could have rounded the corner out, which in hindsight, yeah, that probably would have been a little bit better, but for just doing something on the fly, this turned out pretty good. So yeah, I am happy with that. We got all the coverage and everything that we need. That looks really good. So now, let's go ahead and we'll switch this back around. And we'll get back here. Hey, there, like Mark Maker Viking is back. Good, good, good. And now we'll take off those lights. And so now, it's a little bit better than what it was. So we can get we can kind of dial that in, and if we wanted to, like up at 10% here, and yeah, I think that works out good. Not bad for that. Just thought I'd pop in and say hi, 5 a.m. here in Norway. Norway! Dude, rocking the Norway. Awesome. So anyway, you can see that we bumped this up to 10% for our ES45 key light. And if we go ahead and let's put that up to even 20%. Oh yeah, that is a lot better. Maker Viking, the true Viking. Yes, the authentic. So yeah, this is pretty good because at 20% before, without the light box, this thing was really overpowering. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and we'll take that off real quick. And to show you how well this works. So there we are at 20%, and we're kind of washing out. We are washing out. So let's go ahead and we'll put this back on. Man, that came out so good. That came out really, really good. Great. Brilliant. That just looks so good. Ferris pops in, says, Steve, good morning. Pardon the pun, it's night and day difference. Night and day difference. That's pretty good. So yeah, I can take this down and not so overpowering. I think that looks pretty good. So yeah, that works out well. So we learned a couple of things. Let me go ahead and put this remote back because we don't need that anymore. And that works out pretty good. Looks great, new lighting. I know, it does. It is so much nicer. Because at 1%, I was limited in the fact that any higher than that, it would really wash out, the light and everything, so it didn't really turn out that well. So trying to find a softbox for this thing, couldn't find one for the ES45 key light from Godox. So 3D printer, Tinkercad, boom, problem solved. Yeah. So good, so good. Let's see, some of the other stuff we end up having on the desk, we're so close to finishing up the Crimson Sword. And what I ended up doing, this is see if I can find the Crimson Sword. There's always an old pillow cover, old pillow cover softbox. That's true. You could just throw over a little piece of cotton cloth, like a pillowcase, throw that over. That would diffuse the light really well. If I stole one of the pillowcases, the wife wouldn't be happy. So yeah, that's why I had to print out my own. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. On the desk over there, we have the Crimson Sword that we picked up from Maker World, and we ended up printing that baby out. It is so close to done. Doing the hilts and the pommel, that whole part is, I just finished coating it with some varnish, high gloss varnish that I did on this thing, and that is going to be pretty cool. I'm so ready for that thing to dry so we can put that thing together. But for those of you that were wondering about that, there is, sorry for making you all seasick, but that is the Crimson Sword that you can get on Maker World by SAR, SARW10. Sarwatim? Hey, we got Zombie Hunter in. Yeah. So yeah, this is printed in 2 different PLAs. What I did was black, so I had to end up painting the red and stuff like that. So, but this is going to come out, and I just finished the hilt, the handle and the pommel and whatever, waiting for that varnish to dry. I just did the second coat on that, so that'll turn out pretty good. So yeah, if you're wondering about that, Crimson Shadow, Sword of the Dark Knight, MW Heroes. That printed out pretty good. We also ended up getting the mount, the wall mount. So I've got that all on the wall, and it's ready to go. So the next step after that varnish dries is going to be putting that baby together. So I'm really looking forward to that. Just seems like it's going to be a really, really nice sword. So let me go ahead and put this here. I know the mic is a little hot, so I'll try to speak a little bit lower. With that, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at what we have. Dun, dun, dun. And there it is. So, yeah, we've got the pieces and parts. A little bit of shine on there with some varnish. We got some of these on there, and that'll end up going in there. We'll glue those in. That'll come out really good. And I think that sword will come out really nice. So the pommel and the handle of that is the only thing that we have left. And we go take a look. We can see what we got here. And there is our trusty printer, Creality K2 Plus, and there is the pommel. Okay, I've got the air duct thing. And that looks pretty good. had a little bit of a bleeding because I had too much of a, we'll just have to put it like that and not like that. So yeah, give us a look out the window. Sure, yeah, we'll do that. Matter of fact, we can go take a look out the big window. And that is, still needs to do a little bit of drying. Tiny bit. So, let's take a look. Because somebody wants to look out the window. No sound. No sound? Sound? How about now? Your mic cut out. Okay. How about now? How's that sound? Any sound? Oh, good here. 5-second delay. Okay, just unplug the wireless. So how does this sound? It's much lower, but it also works. Okay, so anyway, this is the view out of our apartment. And we're pushing about 40 degrees. So yeah, beautiful weather that we got going on here in Korea. Pretty nice. So yeah, you got the little playground and everything. You got the trash truck showing up. They do deliveries and all that. But yeah. And it's, what time is it? It's about 10 after 1. So yeah, that's what we got looking like. How high are those apartments? 15 floors. And we're about the middle on the apartment that we're in. So yeah, that works out pretty good. And again, we got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that worked out pretty nice. So looking forward to that. Gonna get another apartment. How did you haul up the K2 Plus? Yeah, the over 100 pound K2 Plus was quite the interesting thing. Looks nice, need some more trees, yeah. Yeah, the K2 Plus, the box and everything, I weighed it. I got on the scale, weighed myself, then picked up the box. It was almost 110 pounds. So a delivery driver delivered it up to the front door, and then I had to get everything from there and bring it in and do the unboxing. I've got a video on the unboxing of the K2 Plus. So, but that thing is a beast. It is definitely a beast. So, yeah. Let me get settled here again. I guess I can end up taking this off because we're not using it. Because apparently there's a little bit of lag with the doing everything over the phone. And I know this is all charged up because it's full bars on everything. So computer streaming, it works out pretty good. As far as like using the DJI wireless for live streaming, kind of like what we were doing on the phone, it seems to be cutting out in some areas. So I think for something like this, I got a question. What's going on? We're just kind of doing some stuff. Well, I should get some sleep here. Been working on Tinker Atlas all day and night. I'm exhausted. Okay. Not much. Just got home. Yeah, I just finished up going to the gym. And then we went to a smokehouse to get lunch. So we had brisket, smoked brisket, and smoked chicken with some rolls, mac and cheese. Oh my gosh, that stuff was wonderfully good. So yeah, matter of fact, I think I got a picture of that. There it is. So we can take a look. I'll show you what we ended up having for lunch. Well, I'll show you what we ended up doing. So we finished the workout, and so there's yours truly. So we did that pretty good. And then that is what we had for lunch. So we had smoked brisket, had smoked chicken, like half a chicken, rolls, ended up French fries, mac and cheese. Oh, that was to die for. Had a little bit of a beer action going on, and then different types of barbecue sauces and some ketchup. That was about 26,000 won. So it was pretty good. Pretty good for the meal. The beer was extra. So yeah, that was a good lunch that we ended up having. So good workout, good lunch, and yeah, came back. The soft box is done that we made off of Tinkercad. I'm going to make some adjustments to that, and I'll throw it up on my Creality Cloud page. So if somebody needs a softbox for the Godox ES45 key light, boom, that works out pretty good. So we'll see how that goes. Probably not a lot of people will pick that up, but it was just kind of cool to be able to have a problem, use Tinkercad and a 3D printer to solve those problems. So it's pretty neat. I like that. I like it. I would skip the beer and scarf everything else. Yeah, I splurged. I splurged with the beer. So yeah, since we, what day is it? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, it was good. Wednesday, deserved a beer. So that's what we ended up doing. Again, we're going to do the sword, which I don't know. Maybe we could do the sword, put the sword together. What do you think? Should we do the sword? Now the question is, how am I going to do that? Because I need a thing to hold the phone, and we could put the sword together. Because I think this is enough. I think that's dry enough, honestly. Dry enough for government work. So yeah, maybe we could do this. But we're going to need something to hold the phone. So I have that. And the Hulk and some other stuff. Oh. Check this guy out. Yep, not that one. This one. Boom. I could change the colors. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's always cool. Let's see if we can find a phone holder. The phone holder. Ah, here it is. I don't drink personally, never could acquire a taste, but I would love frying fish and shrimp with beer. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this. Yep, that'll work. I mean, I'm not a huge beer drinker, that's for sure. Let's see if we can find some room on the. Oh, I messed up. I missed the. I forgot to do this with the black. Well, I guess we could put it together, and I could always just do the little bit of that. So let's see if we can't put this thing in here and do that. And then, hold on, guys. Guys and gals, we will move you over here, and we'll do that. Let's see if we can do some little adjustment here, as I think we could do. And there it is. So that works. tighten everything up. Then we need some super glue. And then I could put on the tablet as well. That way, take a look at the streaming and try to read some of the comments, because they're just crazy small. I wish there was a way to make the comments bigger, but I don't know. No, it is what it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll play on some of this. So the first thing we can end up doing is I think we can glue on some of these pieces here that are going to be basically the gemstones that go in this. Now I smoothed these out with some UV light and resin, so I didn't go overboard with it. I didn't go crazy, but let's see. Throw in some super glue. These are going to be a tight fit. So wow, that is going to be a tight fit. This is going to be an interesting. Seriously? Really? Tolerance on this was really tight before, and it's still tight. Imagine that. What are the odds? There we go. That's still tight on that one side. There we go. So we got that in there. Probably didn't even need super glue. Because it's so tight. This one's better. A little bit of love. Slam this baby in there. Yep. So that comes out pretty good. And then, let's see. Next, this has got to go. This is going to go in there. That's going to go like that. So we're going to take this apart. And that is going to fit in there. Pretty tight. Gotta love it when it's tight. Man, that's not even going to need any glue. But the handle I will put some glue on, because that will need glue. So we'll see if we can just put tiny bit as I'm putting a bunch of glue on there. And these have a little cut in there, so to marry up with that there. So it's got kind of a track to go in. So this slides in like so. And then you have the other piece that is going to slide in, which I think I'm going to do like this. So that way, I'll smash these two together. And I'll slide that in that. And so we got that. And then this piece will go like that. And I'm not going to put everything in this because I need to do the black on that. But basically, this is supposed to go like so. So that'll fit in there and we'll have that little gemstone. But on the back of this, there's a little tab, and that's going to marry up with the tab that we've got in there, that little piece. So it's kind of ingenious the way that it made this. So yeah, nice. And that is gonna go like that, but then we need this, which is going to fit there. And then these little tabs or plugs are going to go in here, and then they're going to go through this piece and into this piece here. So what we can end up doing, I think we're good. So we'll just put a little dab in there. And those to catch that. And then these little pieces will go in here. And that is good. And then we have that piece. It'll fit like that, and then the other piece will fit on top of that. So we need to put glue on these other little spots here. They should be good. I don't think I'm going to glue the big massive piece. Like putting glue on here, I don't think I'll do that. So we'll put these on. Are these matching up? No, it's not. I've got this on the wrong side. So this goes on this side. Okay. I'm getting there. So now these holes, yeah, the holes match up. What are the odds? The point of no return. Get that. This one is good there. I'm a little worried about the varnish that I put on here because I thought, you know, well, maybe that's gonna make this a little bit of a tight fit. So this is gonna go here. I'll just go ahead and throw some. Yeah, nice. Comes out pretty good. And then once I get all this together, I'll put on another coat of clear varnish on the blade part. So, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we got that. Then we're gonna have this here. And then we're gonna need this. So, I'm assuming that one goes there. This one, we have shapes and colors. We have shapes and colors. Imagine that. Get your shapes and colors in line, folks. We got that. And the holes line up. Yep. We have holes. The holes are lining up, so that's good. And now we put in our little pins. Yeah, this is an ingenious little way that this came all together. I'm really appreciating the Star W. Tim and how he did this. I like it. And then the fact that all of these pieces can be printed on a smaller printer is nice as well. Let's see. That, and that will be the piece, the final piece. Of course, we'll still have to do a little bit of paint, but that won't be bad. So not bad at all. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Put that on there. And we are good. Holy crow, look at that. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Beautiful, beautiful thing. And we'll just finish up that little bit of the back. But that turned out great. I love that. I love that. Look at that. It turned out great. Like I said, what I'll end up doing is I'll go through and I'll do more clear coat varnish on this, try to get a little bit more shine on this. And then, like on all these inlays here, I'm thinking about putting red in here. Use some paint, kind of like, what do we got here? Kind of like with the scarlet. I don't know, maybe that. We got a crimson paint, which is pretty close. So I could probably go through and put some of this crimson paint in these notches and these, cutouts or whatever. Maybe I'll do these in there on the sides. I could do the same thing with the crimson and then do the clear coat varnish off of that. What other colors do we have? Like a red? No, I think that's what we got. I think that's as red as we're going to get because, yeah, it's a pearl bright red. That's not going to work. So it's either going to be like a scarlet, which is close, but the crimson is more, or maybe a combination of those two. So something like that. We'll get some color in there in some of these inlays and maybe even in these areas here, those little lines and everything. We'll just do some painting. As far as this right here, I don't think we'll do any. I think we'll just leave it as it is. But I think if we do those little details on here, that'll make this thing pop a little bit more. And we might even accent this a little bit on, so you have these lines here, and we might throw in a little bit of black on these lines. So just to get a little, again, a little bit of detail on there, throw some black in there. I think that would be good. But it turned out pretty good. That came out great. Very, very good. Very good. I am happy. I'm good. I have to do the black and stuff on this little piece that we can take off, but other than that, that is a hefty sword. Hefty, hefty baby. So let's take a look at this and let's see if we can get onto your hats. Because we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the phone, and there it is. That is a pretty long sword. It came out pretty good. Matter of fact, if we measure this thing out, this is from tip to pommel, it is 50 inches, or 127 centimeters. So that's pretty big, I think. And that's about three and a quarter, maybe 80 millimeters across here. So that is pretty good. I like that. I like it. Now, what we can end up doing, let's go ahead and we'll move y'all. So hang in there. And I'll just do a little bit of this, like so. And get a view of this sword. Look at that. Oh, man. That has got some heft to it. I mean, look at that. That came out great. Oh, except for that part. Don't look at this part. Just look at the cool parts. That turned out great. For reference, I'm 6'2", so let's see if we can. So yeah, pretty nice. And then that will hang right there. So yeah, I think that turned out pretty good. Pretty good. You know what I need? I need to have a light shining and highlighting this. That would be really cool. So have its own separate light like up above and then shine down on this thing. I think I got something I could probably use. Kind of like perfect spot. Yes, I think so. Let's see. Got a little puck light. It says, where did you get the print from? It was on Maker World. And if you look up Crimson Sword, and the artist was SARWTIN. We'll go back to the computer, we'll take a look at that. But, so I can do this, but I don't think that's enough light. Maybe? Have it shine down like that? Something like that? I don't think it's enough though. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be bright enough. Yeah, I'd want something coming down from above and with a brighter, maybe like that. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Eventually, we'll get something going. So, we ended up, let's look at it when the lights are on. Take a look at this. You need some sort of spotlight. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, if I had a light that I could put on the ceiling to shine down on that, I mean, for this little thing with the pommel, I should be good to go. I think it turned out great. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. So it kind of goes in there with the rest of the stuff and some of the other stuff that we have. But yeah, that is kick-ass. Oh, good stuff. Let's get back to the mood lighting. And we will, there it is, in the background. Yeah, it needs a spotlight, doesn't it? I think it needs a spotlight. So that way you can have like the light shining down and all of that. So anyway, if you go to, let's see, head into bed here and rise and shine in 6 hours, head to the gym before work. Awesome. Get that work in out. Thanks for stopping by and checking that out. That turned out really, really well. So yeah, appreciate you hanging out. Push hard, progressive overload. Time and tension on those muscles. So anyway, whoever was asking about where this file came from, we'll just take another look here. And there it is. It's on Maker's World. And you can see that there, Crimson Shadow, Sword of the Dark Knight, MW Heroes, by that guy there, SAR W10. And yeah. And he's got other models. Let's take a look and see what he's got. So he's got, wow, he's got a bunch. Let's see if we can take a look at these. Let's make this so it fits the screen. I'm used to doing everything on the streaming, so I don't have to play games with this like my phone. So there, he's got like 31 models. So he's got a cool corrupted Ashbringer sword of whatever. So that's kind of cool. Phoenix armor. Oh, so he's got some more cool stuff. He even got some shadow forged armor. Oh, so that would be the armor for that. So we can take a look at that. Got a Dr. Doom mask. He's got some other cool stuff on there. Got some little, another cool sword, mask. He's got some pretty decent stuff there, yeah. Let's see what the armor looks like. The shadow armor. So you got the breastplate, you got the helmet. That's kind of cool. I wish it had a full view of the person. Wonder if anybody printed this out. Oh, there. So let's see if we can't make this. So yeah. Got the female doing the sword thing there, going at it. Pretty cool. Talking about all that cool stuff somebody, and some of the prints that people have done. Ah, that's where you go. Okay. So there's no lower part to it, I don't think. That's kind of like a cool knight looking deal there. Oh, somebody else did it with like a, excuse me, like a bronze. That's kind of a cool color scheme. Doesn't have any leg pieces though. Thing like that, it's just the top. I think it needs to get some shin action there. But that's pretty wild. That is cool. I like that. I don't know, I might have to print out that helmet. So yeah, the helmet default is 2 walls, 0.2 millimeter layers, 3% infill, and they're looking at about 19 hours of print time. That's not too bad. Helmet wider, helmet split, shoulder. So the cool thing about Maker World is that it shows the piece and then it shows the time. and then, however many plates or whatever. So that's some useful information there. That's kind of cool. Back split, waist, arm, thigh. Oh, there's a thigh piece there. Oh, they do have lower leg. Okay. Nice. Okay. So those other people just didn't print that stuff out. So yeah, he's got some pretty cool stuff. So anyway, that's what I ended up printing was the Crimson Sword. And yeah, we had a cool time with that. Nice, nice, nice. So that is what we got going on. So we did a couple of things during this stream. We found out that the DJ mic, when it's plugged into my iPhone, kind of works sometimes, but it cuts out, as some of you had pointed out. So that's kind of cool. I appreciate that feedback. And I don't know if it's because of, well, I'm hooked up to the home network, and a wife is watching TV and that's streaming. So, and then she's probably looking at whatever else she does on her phone. So she's streaming that as well. And then we're streaming this. So that might have had something as far as the delay in the audio, but that's good to know. We'll have to do some tests with the iPhone and take this out. But some people, you all said that the initial mic on this was a little bit too hot. But this is really good when I use it for the streaming software that I have, the Ecamm Live. So we found that out. The other thing we ended up doing was the soft box for the ES45 by Godox. That worked out really well. Probably make some changes to that, but the rubber band thing and the little hooks and the whole 9 yards, that worked out really good as far as we can, we can see that there. That came out great. And again, we ended up seeing that there is the soft box. Boom. Have a problem, print the solution. So I like that. I like that. That came out really good. So we did that, and then we put together the sword, and I still have to do a little bit of work on the pommel on that, the last little bit, but we hung that up in the back there, and yeah, it definitely needs a light to shine down and highlight it. So I got to try to find some type of battery-powered LED ceiling mounted light to shine and illuminate that. But that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was a good build. I like that. So we're going to continue on doing that stuff. Let's see what else. I still want to do the Doom Eternal Slayer armor, but I'm waiting for one of two things. Either Galactic Armory to hurry up and come up with their form fitter program that will scale armor, kind of like the Armor Smith, or I can just drop $44, get Armor Smith, and then get the Galactic Armory one. And I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. I mean, it's only $44, but then Galactic Armory comes out. I pray, seriously, I hope it's a pay one price. Lifetime licensing. I hope it's not a subscription service payment that you have to do. And I get it. That's what a lot of stuff is these days. But honestly, I'm kind of tired of the subscription stuff. Of course, I'm old, so I'm 59. So I'm the guy that wants I want to buy the program, and I want it to be mine, and I want it to work. So yeah, that's what I want. That is what I want. So yeah. Let's see, we're doing some streaming here. Trying to look on the computer because I see if this will come in the streaming. Yeah, so we can get the stream there. So I can read the comments. Because the comments on the phone are like super, super small. So we got that. Need some sort of spotlight. Blah, blah, blah. Been making good progress in the gym lately. So Ferrithus was happy. So he was talking about that. And I think we're caught up on the comments. Let's see. We answered the question on where we got the print from, which was Maker World by that SAR WTIN person for the sword. And I think that's pretty much it. And we talked about how we finished my workout today. And then, well, the wife and I, finished our workouts today. And then what we ended up doing was hitting the UJ Smokehouse here in Korea and we scarfed down some smoked brisket and smoked chicken, so that was really good. So Ferrithus says, been making good progress in the gym lately, so he's happy. Pull-ups tomorrow. I'm starting funny you should mention that. I'm starting to do more pull-ups. I'm 260 pounds, so doing pull-ups to the chin level, I can get like 7, maybe 8 on the first try. Second set, I might get 5 or 6. But then I'll rotate and then I'll have it do a pull up like this, and then I'll do alternate. So pull up like this, and then alternate and pull up like that. So it kind of goes back and forth to do like 4 sets of that. Really good for lats. And I used to be able to do a lot more. Of course, I weighed less. So I think I ended up getting up to like 16, 18 pull-ups that I could do. But that was back when I was, 245, and I'm 260 now. So yeah, it's a little heavy, little heavy on the doing the pull-ups and then the pull-ups like that. So, but that's what we got going on. Other than that, yeah, enjoyed doing, working on making some stuff, printed out on the K2 Plus, having some fun, doing the sword. That's definitely a good thing. And some of the things on my bucket list are a big cosplay, which we're going to do, the Doom Eternal Slayer, which Galactic Armory did come out with the new version, with the updated remastered version. And I got to make sure that I got that. I think I got it. Let me take a look here and see. Doom Slayer, A, B, C, D, E, F, Galactic Armory. And we'll do the list, we'll do the kind. So you got the Chaplain helmet from Galactic Armory. For the Warhammer 40K, before they got their cease and desist, I was able to get in on that. Chainsword, oh, that would be good. They've got a Republic chest set that I want to print out. They got the Space Marine Chaplain helmet, which is that. You got some other figures. No, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, here. Maybe it's this one. Doom Slayer version 2. That might be it. The version 2. Dark Ages. That's the helmet. Let's see, what is the assembled version? Let's go ahead and pull this up. I want to see if this is the big version. The assembled version of the new helmet. Yep, I have the updated version. So yeah, I don't know if, well, I'll probably print the updated version as well for the helmet, because it's got some spikes on the top, which is really cool. Let me see if I can find, let's throw this in there, and I'll show you what we're talking about. So, kind of show you what we're talking about here. Yeah, I don't have the streaming thing. Since I'm using my phone. No, that's not what I want. This. Press that button. If I can go ahead. So there's the new Doom Slayer helmet, and that's the one that has the spikes on it. Well, it's got you don't want that. And then the other thing that I end up having is yes, I know it's off the page. That head is a representation of my head as far as the measurements going from width, length, and depth on that. And so that's kind of like a mock-up of my head. And then we could put that in there, and we can kind of take a look at this. Of course, it's a little off, but you can kind of get an idea, and you can check out your helmet as far as to see if it will fit by using your head as a mock-up. And yeah, that's kind of a cool thing there. And we talked about that on the previous stream. And I think that's a little, there we go. Probably about right there. So, well, maybe a little bit lower. Maybe, probably about right there. Be good to go. So yeah, looking forward to doing the Doomslayer stuff. So that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, we've got all that. Eventually we will get all that going as well. So yeah, so much fun stuff I want to do. So I got all that stuff. Do I want to save? No, I don't. Just discard that. So anyway, that's what we got going on. Hey, we got Piled 3D popped in, so he said hi. Welcome, welcome. Of course, Zombie Hunter, the regulars that we have. I appreciate you all. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. I don't think I got any more new information except for what was it? The helmet sizing and how I got that head. I talked about that a little bit. And so for if people are wondering about that, that actually, seriously, come on. That is by RefMaker, refmaker.app. And let's just go ahead and take a look at this. Ding. So that's it, refmaker.app. And we did a previous video on this. And this is a free program that, let me see if I can get this to where I'll make it smaller to try to get this to fit in everything. And I'll take that and we'll go there. So anyway, this program here is what you can end up doing is measuring out your head width, the length, and then the height of your head. So, you know, you can kind of play with this with the different sizes and everything, depending on your noggin. And then, you know, why such a long face? I don't know, long face. So you can make a mock-up of your head, and then you could come through here and you could do the helmet fit option. And if we go to, let's go back to our Creality, the Doomslayer helmet, the version 2, Dark Ages. I think I got 2 of those, arms, leg, torso. Nope, it wasn't it. I had a 50-50 chance. And there is the assembled helmet. So check this out. So we've got the assembled helmet. We'll drop this in here and boom, look at that. So you can get the version of your helmet. Now the cool thing about this is with this, now you can go through and on this right-hand side, you can see section view. We open that up and that will do a cutout of that. And it'll give you, you can see some, whether it's, you know, big or small. If we do something like that, we can get the a cutout on that view. And the cool thing is you can use the slider to go through and take a look at all that. So like for this, you know, you can run it that way. And then of course you do it on the Z. You could do that all the way down to the bottom and then bring it up and you can see, you know, if there's any problem areas with your helmet and how much room you have. And to see if anything is gonna, like we got like right up there, I think we got a little bit of a problem. Yeah, so you can see that white that's right there. So yeah, but it's just pretty cool. That is a really cool little feature to have and a great way to help you size your helmets. And again, something like that, of course, you'd have to, I think you can move the helmet. Sectional view, fix orientation. Yeah. So, oh, so you can change the pitch on that. Okay, so we got that. But what I want to do is I want to move the helmet or move the head down or the helmet up. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Position. Oh, okay, there it is. So yeah, so you got the little position thing there. And then of course you could do this one as well. Forward, back, rotation as far as the tilt on that. So that is a cool, that's a cool little tool that you got there. Not bad, huh? And then the height, you probably move that up a little bit so you can end up doing something like that. And there you go. So yeah, just a neat little tool to be able to size your helmets up. So that way you get a better look instead of just kind of doing guesswork and stuff like that. So yeah, and that's a free program. So free is awesome. And especially with the way that it works really well. Now, could you imagine if he had this similar program and he did a full armor scaling system with the UI like this? That would be hot. But like I said, Galactic Armory is working on a system like that. So I don't know. It looks, but this one is really good. And I like the contrast between the head color and the armor, the helmet and stuff like that is really high contrast. Whereas, you know, some other programs, I just don't think take that into consideration. But they nailed it perfect on that one. So that's what we got going on. So do we got anything else that we can ramble on about? Let me see. We got that. Armor, yeah, that. Just gonna do some stuff on. No. Tinkercad, we talked about that. We did that. I don't know. I think that's it. I think we're good. So yeah, that's what we got. Anyway, that's all I got, folks. I'm done. I'm spent. That's all there is. Until the next video. What I would really appreciate, what you all can do, is to like and subscribe to the channel. So take a few seconds, hit that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, ding, you know, whatever it is. Fries are done. Go ahead and do that. That would really help out with the channel. I would love to do reviews. So if any of you know, like a 3D printing company, laser engraving company, or have some pull with somebody to do product reviews, I would love to do those. So I'm going to send out more emails and see if I can't do that. Part of the problem is I'm in South Korea, so it is what it is. But yeah, throw some love, do some likes and things like that. I would appreciate that. Everybody that's been watching, thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you. Kamsahamnida. And we will see you all in the next video. All right, cool. Thank you. Peace. Worked out okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. And yes, we want to